I'm Dan Bayliss, I'm the Principal Assurance and Compliance Manager for CI Operations.
And I'm Karen Dooling, I sit on the Passion for Service steering group. Dan, we've recently started an improvement initiative around risk management. Can you tell us a little bit about that and why we started it?
Okay, so we had some localised risk management and risk registers, but we didn't have a coherent view for CI operations. So we manage a lot of controls and manage a lot of risk on behalf of LV. So really it was just an effort to get together and produce a centralised view on how we manage risk and any areas that we can improve on.
Yeah, and why does that matter?
I think for us, if we have that visibility, we can focus our energies on the high risk or high value areas, so we can actually, as I said, primarily it's working better together, and we can make some risk-based decisions to either spend some money or pull in more resource or some training, could be anything.
So what exactly are we doing and who's involved?
Okay, so we had, at the beginning of the year, I've set up a risk and audit committee with the CI operations management team, leadership team. So that was getting in representation from all areas, and really, as I said, discussing what risks and audit actions we had for the area and increasing that visibility and focus. We then created a risk forum to support that. That was purposely just to focus on collating a centralised operational risk register. Again, it's just focusing on the people issues, any process issues or technology issues in each of those areas.
And who's involved, Dan?
So there's managers from all areas of CI operations, from application management, infrastructure management, from sourcing in our supplier management teams, and as I said, it's managers from all areas within CI operations.
And how are LV going to benefit from this, Dan?
I think for better decision making, so our decisions can be risk-based decisions and informed ones, so we can look at addressing our budget or technical resources to address those. But it's also sharing those issues or risks. People from previous experience might be able to make recommendations or might pick up some information via email that can be shared to try and address those issues, really. I think for me the primary benefit is the visibility.
And the visibility means that sometimes we can just accept the risk that we're carrying.
Definitely, yeah. Sometimes the best answer is to accept that risk and just be aware of any potential causes it could have.
Dan, what have we achieved so far?
So one of the things we've achieved so far through our risk forum is actually having the mechanism for escalating and treating risk. So it's one of the things I think for us is identifying the risk and coming up with a relevant treatment plan, and then we can recommend and escalate accordingly.
Yeah, we've also put some improvements into the framework, haven't we, in the process?
Yeah, so we've now got a centralised risk register. We've got a centralised area everyone can go and access. Its main thing is getting that consistency on how we treat and identify the risks.
Across the whole of CIO operations?
Yes, yeah, depending from environmental risks through to supplier risk through to people risks.
Hello, I'm Tom Holdsworth. I manage the CMDB on behalf of LV.
Tom, we've recently started an improvement initiative around the CMDB. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, we noticed that the CMDB wasn't really reliable enough for people to trust, and they ended up setting up their own spreadsheets of all the information they needed, which caused them a lot of work keeping them up to date, and they weren't easily shareable.
So there was inconsistencies in the data we were keeping?
Yes, indeed. Lots of competing versions.
And why does it matter to make this improvement?
It will help our incident management teams find the root causes of incidents faster, so they can get our services back on the road faster. It will help people planning change know exactly what the impacts of their change are, being able to get hold of that information a lot more straightforwardly and know that they can trust the information once they've found it.
Tom, how will we benefit from this improvement?
Our incident response teams will be able to get information a lot more quickly about what's making up a service and help diagnose incidents more quickly, so we can get the services up and running for our customers. And our change planning teams can better see the impact of the changes they're planning, so they can plan them better. And on a wider scale, our service architects can see how our services work together, so they can design improvements without having to dig to the bottoms of our documentation.
That's great. In essence, it's going to benefit the whole of LV and make our change processes and our incident analysis much, much quicker and easier.
Yes.
So Tom, what have we achieved so far?
We've updated the models for a quarter of our key services, and that includes the supporting services that they rely on. And we've input models for the 20 new services that have all gone live since we started the project.
I'm Gareth Bennett. I work here on the problem management team at LV.
Gareth, earlier this year we started an improvement initiative around incident categories. Why did we start that initiative?
We decided to review the way our incidents are categorised the first quarter of this year. There are many reasons behind this, but one of the main ones was the fact that there were 2 to 3 different ways which you could categorise one incident, and it led to too many inconsistencies within the data which we were collecting.
Gareth, I understand there are 2 phases to this. Can you tell me what you've done so far and who's been involved?
So during stage 1 we decided to get together a workshop including various members of the CIO operations. We've got together the desktop team, for example. These teams are going to be directly affected by the proposed changes which we're going to make. We've discussed in detail and we've come to the conclusion we're just going to strip down all selectable outcomes which are available in our service desk manager at the moment. At the moment we've got close to 900 available options and we're going to strip it down to about 64, 65.
That's brilliant. So Gareth, how will we benefit from this improvement?
By decreasing the amount of selectable options to the end users, we'll benefit enormously in terms of the data which we collect from the incidents. It'll be much more meaningful, it'll be a lot more valid, and it'll be more reliable to us. From the problem management perspective, it will aid us enormously in terms of trend analysis and hotspot analysis, and hopefully in the near future prevent a lot more incidents being reported.
That's great. And of course, if we ever needed any further categories or needed to focus on a particular hotspot, we could always add further categories in.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Gareth, phase 1's coming to an end now and we hope to implement at the end of this month. And then we'll be moving on to phase 2. What will that entail?
So phase 2 includes work on the affected services and configuration items. This will be helped enormously by the CMDB improvements that are ongoing.
Hello, I'm Kirsty Griffiths and I work on the Passion for Service programme.
My name's Natalie Rains. I work within the Change for Brilliance team within LV CIO. Kirsty, tell me about the launch of Passion for Service.
So as part of our improvement journey, we wanted to rebrand the Service Management Improvement Working Party to encompass a wider set of processes and teams. We ran a workshop to determine what we wanted to achieve, what success would look like at the end of this year, and what type of improvement activities we wanted to be tackling and what value they would deliver. We decided that we wanted to be a central point to drive strategic continual service improvement within CIO operations, and that's how Passion for Service was born. To support the brand, we've devised a logo that links into our 2015 plan, which will also help us assess and prioritise new improvement ideas going forwards. Within CIO operations, we need to deliver clear and well-defined services, quality services, secure services, and also importantly, successful services. We devised a suite of posters to create brand awareness across CIO, and a general email was also issued advising the launch of Passion for Service to all CIO staff. To underpin all of our communications, we've created an intranet site, and on that we can share the output from any workshops that we run, the podcasts that we're filming, there are also discussion boards and improvement suggestions can go on the intranet site. We'll also be sharing the output and the work in progress of the Passion for Service forum so people know what's going on. In addition, we've met with all our CIO operations teams to ensure they have a common understanding of what Passion for Service is about, also to tell them what we've achieved so far and what's currently underway. It was also a really great opportunity to discuss any improvement ideas that they had. We are currently preparing a stand for our CIO 2015 conference that's coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and there we can share our story with the whole of CIO in a fun and visual way. We're not working alone to improve CIO, and there is another programme running in our change community. The 2 programmes are not mutually exclusive, and we meet regularly with the Change for Brilliance team to ensure that we're making the most of all our resources. It's important that our objectives are aligned to continuously improve all aspects of CIO in order to deliver customer excellence.
Change for Brilliance is an initiative that's been introduced throughout the LV Change community with the driving vision to ensure that we can be at our best at every project. To do this, we've fostered communities, and resulting practices have looked at how we can improve the way we work, being ever mindful and embracing of innovation and self-sustainability. We're taking the opportunity to look at what we do currently, what we want to be in the future, identifying what works and how to make changes for the best. We're doing this in a structured and methodical way, whilst ensuring that our own people are the innovators and drivers of change. We want to ensure that the change is relevant and that it's also sustainable. To date, practices have looked at estimating, agile, post-implementation reviews, and much more. However, the change community is not alone in delivering change. Operations are a fundamental part of delivering change within the LV community. As such, we're pleased to be working alongside the Operations Passion for Service team to identify where we have and can develop synergies, share knowledge and opportunities, and ensure that we go forward with an ethos of community, shared practice, collaboration and innovation.